Hi, I'm Orly Grouper, the founder of Women in Mobility, and welcome to another episode in the series of Becoming a WIM. Today we have with us a very inspiring woman, and she's going to share with us her big story in the automotive industry, Dr. Astrid Wollenberg, which is today the Managing Director of KONNECT, the Volkswagen Group Innovation Hub here in Tel Aviv. And she just joined us here in Israel about 9-10 months ago.
I think...
Almost a year even, no?
No. 7.
7 months?
7 months. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. So, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I brought a little bit of vibe from Germany with us here today.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining us. And actually, why don't we start with you sharing with us your journey? You're almost 30 years now in the automotive industry. Mm-hmm. Going back, where did you start? Why did you choose this industry? And, you know, what was your journey until today?
Okay, so let's start. I decided, maybe we come back to that why later, I decided to study material science and engineering when I finished school. And after finishing that studies, of course you have to think about what will be your journey in life. And let's say as a material scientist, you have of course a lot of opportunities. And I thought about what will be maybe the best, what I'm interested in. And if you take an automobile itself, it's a really amazing product.
Yeah. I agree.
And let's say it summarizes a lot of very different materials,
right,
manufacturing processes. And I thought about, I'm really interested in cars, and that's an amazing product. And so I began to apply for jobs in the automotive industry, and I landed at Volkswagen.
Nice.
Yes.
And then you started there as a material engineer?
I started there as a PhD student for material science and engineering. I think I was one of the first young women in a program from the Volkswagen side, together with a university. So means the background was Volkswagen gave the topic they were interested in to do a deep dive, and then the student has to find a professor in one of the universities handling this topic. And then was a good collaboration over 3 years, and the goal at the end was to get and to earn the PhD.
So already 30 years ago you started with working on challenges and finding solutions.
Right.
It's a little bit what you do today.
Yeah.
Finding the challenges of the Volkswagen Group and bringing solutions from innovation, from startups, right, from collaborations.
Yes, right, absolutely. And yes, I started then, when I finished the PhD, in one of the laboratories in Volkswagen. It was in our engine plant, and I worked there for a couple of years in different fields on the laboratory side, and for quality assurance, and the most of the time I handled with materials, with processes, with special products. And I think it's now more or less 10 years ago I changed my business from quality insurance to former research of Volkswagen. It is now called Group Innovation. And there I was responsible for a group of researchers.
So you started managing?
Yes, I did. First in the laboratory and later in the research field. And we handled really different topics around all metallic materials for a car, beginning from steel for a chassis or a body in white, and ending up with light metals as magnesium or aluminium.
And then you saw an opening of a position here in Tel Aviv?
Yes, I saw it and I liked it. I have I don't know how to explain, let's say a long common experience with Israel. My husband and me, we came here for honeymoon in 1997.
Okay.
And since then, we are really, we have been really deep impressed by the country, and we came back in different years again and again. And when the job was offered, I said yes, please.
So you applied and you started the whole process.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Yeah, I always say that for some people it takes time to come to Israel, but once they do, they keep coming back.
Right. I agree, absolutely.
And so you fit right into my slogan.
Yeah, right. And I can't really explain what's with this country, what happens to us, but it is like it is. Yeah. We fell in love with the country. Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So take me back a little bit to your childhood in Germany.
Yeah.
I was wondering, being German, the automotive industry is very strong there, and there's a lot of villages that, the whole suburb kind of works at a factory, and the automotive industry is very implemented and rooted. Do you think that because of that you were more prone to this industry? Do you feel like there's more women in Germany working in automotive? Because in the world it kind of the percentages are different. And also, do you feel, did you have any tools growing up, that helped you be the woman that you are today? So a lot of questions.
Yeah, a lot of questions. So let's try to begin. No, I don't think that I was very close to the automotive industry or so when I was a child. Not really. All the things have been, let's say, far away. I grew up in a little town. Nowadays you would call it a village, yeah. And my father was a teacher. My mother worked as teacher and as an educating person too. So we have been far away from automotive industry.
Also from engineering materials.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was, in addition, this is, I think, an important topic to say, because it was a completely another world. It was in East Germany. So, but we always had a car. So what I could remember, when I grew up, there was always a car. We had a private car, and a Russian, by the way.
A Russian vehicle.
Yes, a Russian vehicle. And I think I myself realized very fast, and later I began to think about this, that the car gives you personal freedom. And this is something I think a human being, if it ever realized this, will not give back, Because I had a lot of friends from other families. They didn't have cars. They had to ride by bus or by train if they wanted to go to a bigger city to organize some stuff, go shopping, something like that. And so that was the thing I was really close to, I was interested in. And
giving freedom.
And it was the first thing, when the Berlin Wall falls and East Germany opens, it was the first thing I did to do my driving license.
To go explore the West.
Yes. Right. So I think having individual mobility, it's an absolutely amazing thing for people, and they never will give it up.
I completely agree, and what I love most about this journey of mobility is that, once it was also from getting from point A to B and this freedom, but also the experience that we're going to feel in the next 5, 10, 15 years, that's always also going to change. So the whole journey itself is going to change.
Right.
And I'm very excited about that.
Me too.
And how do you feel then, if you said both of your parents were educators, how did they help you find your passion to, I guess, chemistry, materials?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest
points. Did it
points.
start early in your childhood?
I think so, yes. Yes, I think so. Let's say I was always a very interested child, interested in a lot of different things. I was open-minded, what I hopefully still are, or can say I'm still are.
Well, I guess this is very important for innovation as well.
Yeah,
so
right.
I guess
so,
you still are.
Yeah, right. And of course, I did my job always. Yeah. If I went to school, I did my things. I did my homework. I was interested in the things. It was not a question for me to say no, I don't want, or no, I did it. That was my job, to fulfill my task. Yeah.
That's very German too, though.
I think so, but not really sure. And especially my father, but my mother too, both gave me on my ways. And this is the point: if you always do this, be open and do your job, and then you will find your way. You will find your way in the world. Yeah, not only your own path. You will find your way in the world. And now, after all these years, I must say, yes,
you found it.
Yes, it is like that. Yeah. So, of course, we spoke a lot. Yeah. There was a very intensive exchange in our family. They gave me on my way that I can always come back and ask questions, and if I need help, I can come to them. So I have a very strong background, very strong roots. This is another point, I think, they gave me. Yeah, and I was able to experience things, to do mistakes, and to say, oh, I think it was a mistake. Let's do better next time.
Okay.
Yeah. And
that's not German, by the way.
Yeah, maybe. Right. And that made me strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things I always see that people are investigating when they come to Israel, kind of trying to understand the innovation here, is that understanding that failure is accepted. Right. And also when you meet, entrepreneurs that failed their first startup or second even, it's okay, and you're still interested because they keep going.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And that is a difference still compared to Germany, or compared to the not only my industry, I think to every industry. Yeah. So, but it's in a process now, in a changing process, in a transformation process. It will be better. Yeah. Yeah. But it's still on its way, I think.
And you said in your PhD studies you were one of the first women that were in this field, in the laboratories, afterwards in the research. How many women were around you? Because I always feel like, Germany is so automotive oriented, so there's probably a lot of women there, but
not really. That's a pity. And here, I think there is, in addition, my East German background, a big point, because we had another thinking about women and how a woman should be to behave and so on, because it was really normal there for women. I think it's like in Israel today, to go to work.
Where you come from, it was normal.
Yeah, it was really normal compared to West Germany, where it wasn't. Yeah, and so there grew up a generation with a completely different self-understanding. So, and yeah, in the beginning of the 1990s, when we, let's say, finished the studies, opened the market for ourselves. It was a little bit a fight and a struggle at the beginning. It was not so easy. You had to explain a lot of things yourself, and it wasn't so easy for me as well. I learned over the years to explain what's, for instance, the advantages to have a woman or women in the team, yeah.
Outside, or explain in an interview about yourself?
Both, yeah. First of all, to think about it and to realize what is my strengths, what I can bring into a team, what is then the advantage, yeah. So, and of course, then outside. It took really time. It took me time to realize that, to think about it.
To pinpoint it.
Yes.
To understand that this is an issue to take care of.
Right. And to bring it on the table, yeah. To really bring it on the table. I remember a time, it was in quality assurance, and we tested cars, prototype cars, to, let's say, to be ready in a certain development level for production. And the result of my work there for myself too was that a woman looks with completely different eyes on such a product. And it takes really time that my bosses realized, oh yes, that's the way it does. And there are a lot of female customers, so let's have an eye on them, yeah? Let's listen what they expect, because they're a great group. Or
that's breakthrough there. It's like big what you're saying, because it wasn't really thought. Not only that, it took time that there was female dummies, right? In testing of safety in car crashes. It was always for male dummies.
Yeah.
And only later they realized, oh, we need also female dummies in the car. There's also women there.
Yeah, right.
Adjusting airbags and understanding ergonometry of the vehicle.
Yeah. For instance, a seat to create the right position, right ergonometry, just only for a simple, whatever, it is not really simple, and only for a seat, yeah? So that you, as a small person, a small woman, can sit as comfortable as a man who is, I don't know, one head bigger compared to you.
Right.
Yeah.
So you put an emphasis on that to bring women in and to understand how they're using the product and how they want it.
Yeah, right.
That's amazing. Thank you for that. I think that it's not that common, and we need more women to understand that.
Yeah.
I love that you said also that it took time for you to realize it, and to realize what are the things, because I think as a manager also, when you move from being an employee to a manager, like you need to create this list of what's really important, what are the values, what do I bring to the table.
Yeah, right.
And as women, I feel like we need to support more women coming to that table.
Absolutely. I'm with you. I think the time has changed. At the beginning, we have been only 1, 2, maximum 3 women in a team of, 15, maybe sometimes 20 people. It's a little bit different if you look on the different, let's say, departments or so. In laboratory, you always have more women. There is, the laboratory-related jobs are more women-like, but there are others. You haven't seen women for, decades,
Wow.
Yeah, but now it's changing. Now you have women all over, and beginning from a very young student age in the so-called, do you use this subject in Israel as well? The MINT subject. It means it is for mathematics, informatics, natural science, and techniques.
Nice.
Yeah, and of course we have the same in Germany. So that we try to find interested young girls, not only be an interested, let's say, student in school on that. No,
Yeah.
at the end of the school, please decide to study in one or the other direction.
We did an event, we called it Women in Mobility, the Next Generation. And we came to university and approached all the science departments.
Yes.
And called them and talked, about the future of mobility. And we brought only women to speak. And each woman told about their, shared mobility. One spoke about autonomy, one spoke about electrification. So they understand also that this shift, it's the shift also of looking at a vehicle with a gearbox and a steering wheel and something that is very mainly manly more and V8 engines and all these things, to a world of applications, of mobility, of freedom, of customer journey experience, of creating this new world of computer vision and how do we use it. And I think this is also a big shift that now is enabling more women to approach the field, because it's shifting as well.
Yeah,
and it needs them as well, because I think in this process diversified opinions are super needed.
Right, absolutely. Diversity is the right word. It's the right at the moment. Yeah.
So if you look back, what is your weirdest moment of a woman in mobility?
The weirdest one is if one of the guys, mainly an older one, comes around and says, a woman is not able to do this because different points. Yeah.
This happened?
Yes, it happened. Yeah.
Of not being able to do a job?
Yeah,
or?
not be able to do a job. Yeah. Because of, I don't know, your background, your not really your education or so, because of your, let's say, of your personal background. Yeah, means you are in the situation right now. You're waiting for your babies. Yeah,
yes.
And of course we had discussions at the beginning about what will happen if you are going to do a management job. And what's with your family? I have 2 daughters too, yeah. And who will help you? And will you be able to fulfill this job in this matter a man does, yeah? Who is not,
because men don't have children.
Yeah, right. Or is he has a wife who cares for it, yeah. And you have always this double pressure, and so of course we had these discussions. Yes, and we
you
still
feel and we're shifting towards management.
Yes, yeah, and we still have it. Not now and not in my position now, yeah, because my daughters are now old enough and to understand if there is a certain situation, and I'm not available for, available for a couple of hours or so. But there are still a lot of young women, and their first question is, if they're, let's say, beginners, starters in the job, yeah, in their education, and they ask, the first question they ask is, how will it fit to do this role in my life, yeah, to be good in my job, yeah, how can I be on both paths, yeah, and I want to be able to do that, but how can it fit? Yeah, this question is still in the room. Yeah, I don't know how it is in Israel, but in Germany it is like that.
I think it's always still in the room, and sometimes it's not only from the outside, sometimes it's from within.
Oh, of course.
Today I wore, very tight because I'm like in a woman talk,
yeah.
But I can say that in business, I'm still trying to hide it, because I feel like if my belly's out,
yeah.
then I feel like I'm kind of like a sand clock.
Yeah.
That is like,
yeah.
That the men are saying, what are we going to do in 6 months?
Yeah, right. I absolutely understand. Yeah. And this is what I think it is in the most of the women I know, or the young women, yeah, that's a problem for them.
So how did you deal with this?
I'm a mentor as well in different mentoring programs in Germany. And if I have this question, I try to be very open. I try to explain my own chaos at the beginning, of course, yeah, how I felt. I had the same questions, yeah, and I did not feel very well at the beginning of my first pregnancy to be open enough to tell it and so. And I realized over the time, over the years, that the most important point is to find help. Yeah, to be open and to go outside and say, hey guys, this is my situation, yeah, and I need help now.
At work or at home?
Both. And this is the most important point, and it should work. And nowadays, and it was, so my first is 23, means round about 25 years ago, it was another time, a different time. It was not so easy to say, hey guys, I'm pregnant, but I want to come back. Yeah, everyone expected
for you to stay home.
Yes. So, and then my husband and me, we tried to find help, and we found it. We had great support from my parents, and we found another very, very nice lady next to our street, and she came around and we talked, and she said, guys, I'm really lonely.
It's funny you're saying this, because I feel like because I'm having twins, then every person that I'm meeting that has twins, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
They're like, get help.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, there's other people saying, get help. There's people saying, get help, get a night nurse, like get all these things.
Yeah.
And then other people are saying, what, you're going to let other people raise your children? So it's like also and also it's work. So it's a lot to deal with. But I totally agree. And I think even without the work thing, it takes a tribe, right? It takes a lot of people.
Absolutely. So you have to clarify your personal situation, and then you can come to your boss and can say, I have the following thoughts, I have these ideas, please let me come to my job, give me the opportunity, let me try to show you that it will work with a child, yeah? And if there is a certain situation, for instance, the child is ill or something like that, and I'm needed as a mother, yeah, then please give me the chance to be home. And nowadays, with the possibility of homework, imagine how it changed. Yeah. So I think it should be possible. It must be possible.
Yeah.
Because
it's very possible. We're women. We can multitask. We can do so many things together.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these things are fears fogging our mind, and once we start thinking clearly, putting all of our solutions in place, we can do anything. But it's amazing that you're speaking about 20 years ago, and it's still now. So I hope maybe in 20 years it won't be, but let's see. I think we'll only reach that point if men can get pregnant as well. I told my husband, like, I wish we could do this. One time I do it, one time you do it, but I guess we can't.
Right.
We talked about you were saying all these things, but being a woman now that is moved to Israel, woman leading her daughter, leaving family behind, isn't this something that is also looked differently?
Of course.
In Germany, at work, I don't know. It's probably a big shift.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Because you decided to, and also I think during COVID, like it's harder to hop back and forth, no?
Yeah, it's a little bit more complicated. It's, thank God, not so complicated as I thought at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, of course you have to fulfill a lot of things. Of course you have to be vaccinated, and you have to provide a lot of information, and you have to be updated always, because all the requirements from the government, they change, let's say every month or every second month. Yeah. So that you have to be always on top. What's wrong? What is needed? What do I need to bring to
see your family?
Yes, just on this point, but it works. Yeah.
You make it work, it doesn't work.
Yeah, right. Let's say not only me, we all, the whole family, my husband too. So at the moment he's the traveler, yeah.
Ah, okay.
He tries to come round about every 4 weeks for a longer weekend, or okay, next month we're going. It depends a little bit on the possibilities of the school, yeah. I can't say I'm not that person. Maybe this is German too, that takes out a child from the school, you know. We are always.
Because your daughter started school here.
Yeah, right. We are always waiting for a slot when the school says, okay, we have 2 days off because, I don't know, education of teachers or something like that. And then we say, okay, that's the time where we can go back to Germany to see family in Germany, and otherwise they're coming.
So it's managing a lot of the schedules.
Yes.
Is this the first time you've lived abroad?
Yes, it's the first time. And I enjoy it.
How is that working?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
I
really.
lived abroad a lot as a child,
Yeah.
and I feel like I could come home, either I'm happy or like get a suitcase, start packing, I want to go back, you know, very angry at my parents for doing that to me. So
no, it's working very well. When the job was offered, my first talk, or our first talk, my husband and me, we took our little daughter beside and said, so that's the topics, yeah, and
this is going to happen.
That could happen.
Could happen.
If you agree and if you want to come, yeah. And the plan was with us, means with both, and later we decided to do the split, and then we were waiting for her answer, and she stopped for a moment, like that, like I do. Then she came back to me and said, yes, we're going to Tel Aviv? Great, I'm with you. And I was like, what? Because she always said, oh no, I don't want to go abroad. We discussed it a little bit in concerns with school. Yeah, go for, I don't know, half a year to England or to Spain or something like that, and improve your foreign language. Yeah. And she wasn't so interested all the time. And this time, it took her really just 1 minute, and she said yes. And I was, what? Why? And she said, oh, I remember one of the holidays in Israel. It was so amazing. I like this country. I want to do a deep dive there. I want to come with you. And I said, okay, then.
The moment you realize the woman that you're raising, right? She's shifting before your eyes. Yeah. They say that there's the child you're raising when they're a baby, and then when they're a teenager, it's a new human.
Right. But normally, what I have heard from colleagues or so, normally they react the complete other way. Normally, if they are teenagers or in teenager age, and you offer to be abroad, to, I don't know, to go for 3 years to China or wherever, they say, no, I don't want to stay. I want to stay at home. I want to be with my friends and so on. And I was really astonished. But yes, we did it. It works.
And would you advise your new upcoming woman today to enter the mobility field?
Yes, I would. Yes, absolutely. Because I think we are still too less women.
Right.
Yeah. So we need to be more. We need to do more networking. I see it. If I can now, I can compare. I begin to compare Israel and Germany, and I think there's a strong networking here, and a strong women networking. This is something I miss in Germany. I can't explain really why it is like that. But I think this is a point we have to do. Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because I think that we should improve more networking.
So?
Like this is one of the, I have this work plan for women in mobility, and in 2022 I'm going to put a lot of emphasis on networking, from doing it artificially and starting to get soft skills little by little and implementing them in our day-to-day lives. I feel it's very important.
Yeah, I think so too. And if we are more, let's say, we can learn from each other. You can learn still if you are 50 plus, of course. Yeah.
Right, always.
Yeah, always. And you can say, okay, good way, good decision. not my way, not my decision, but you can compare always, and you can go in a deep and intensive exchange and can strengthening each other. Only with that you are a woman and that you are in this industry and that you are in mobility and interested in and want to help to transform the idea of mobility, and the mobility itself.
What tool would a woman need in order to take part of transforming that?
I think a very well and very good grounded education. This is, I think, the most important point. Means choose your subjects very well, find a for you interesting area of study and finish good degrees and be open and be interested, go in exchange. And because you already mentioned it, soft skills is another important thing nowadays. I think it has been always very important, but I think people didn't realize it or were not able to bring it on the point. But I think it's a very important thing. So means find maybe additional studies abroad for a language or find additional studies for certain soft skills to
culture more.
Yeah.
Learn how to interact
right.
with different types of people.
Right.
Yeah, because it's very global.
Yes,
this industry.
Right. Not only, that was my point right now. Yeah. Not only in your country or around you.
Yeah.
Try to be open and to look and take aware of that, what the others want. Yeah. And then you can bring new ideas into your group, into your industry, and to create for a worldwide customer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we can talk for hours, but last question for you today, because you have so much experience in this field, and I find it fascinating.
Thank you.
You're going to be a mentor in our next WIM mentoring program of Women in Mobility. Yeah. What do you look forward to the most?
I'm really excited, because that's another mentoring program for me, and it is for me it's now an international mentee,
Right.
So I'm really excited about this. I hope to find a deep and very intensive exchange with this young woman, I think, young person, and I hope I can share a little bit of my experiences of course, the good and the bad sides.
Yeah, I'm sure you have a lot to share. I'm learning more and more.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Astrid,
Thank
for
you,
today.
Ollie.
And we talked a lot about, being a woman here, and I hope we aspire some more women to join the field. Thank you, and see you in the next episode.